Hey guys, and welcome to today's video, and today is my first Project Pan update since I did my intro about a month ago, I'd say, and I have some progress to show you which I didn't expect. This is my first Project Pan, so I was kind of going into it a little bit blind. I wasn't too sure when I'd start seeing progress and how often to update you guys, but I feel like I've got enough at the moment to show you like how I'm getting on and the dents I've made in the products, and it's kind of difficult to know how often I'm going to do these updates, but it just felt quite natural to do the first one now. So that is what I'm going to do today. If you haven't watched my intro video, you're only one video behind, so I'd suggest go back and watch that one. I'll link it above as well if I remember, and find out what products I'm going to be trying to use up, why I have chosen those specific products, and my eventual aim for the year, and how I'm kind of doing the project, because I feel like everyone kind of has different ways of actually doing it. But today I thought I would show you my progress. So I'm going to start off with the products that I have made quite a significant progress and feel like I've got a lot to show you with, and there are others that I am literally so embarrassed by how little I've either used them or how little it's showing that I've used them, because you know some products are maybe more hardly pressed, maybe more, you know, there's more pigment in it, so it is a lot more difficult to use those products up, and I'm beginning to find that very quickly. But like I said, there is quite a few things to show you. So I'm going to start off with probably my most impressive dent so far. I did not expect to get through this product so quickly, and this is a product that I hadn't hit pan on my intro video. I showed you obviously the state of the products then, and then it gives you a bit of a comparison to now. This is like my biggest achievement, and I did not know how satisfying it was to actually hit pan on a product. So the first one I'm going to talk about is the Hourglass Ambient Lighting Powder, and this is in the shade Diffused Light, and look at that. Before I started Project Pan, this was like a mountain of product. Like, this definitely had a dome. You could see how much I'd used it, but I've definitely used so much up that I think that will actually have this finished by my next update, which is really exciting, because I just kind of thought that because it's quite a large pan powder I wouldn't get through it very quickly, but it turns out that this has actually been really easy to use, because it is quite finely milled, but it's not too pressed in, so I don't feel like you actually get too much product in it, which is great if you're trying to pan things, but not so great when you realise how expensive this Hourglass powder was. And I've been using this almost every day. I have been trying to use my RCMA No Colour powder, which I featured in Friday's video, because it's definitely one of my favourites. But when I've been going to work or just needed a powder on my face, this was my go-to. And yeah, I can't believe how much progress I've made. I'm literally shocked, but I'm really impressed. Like, I did not expect to get through that much. This product is another product that I am really surprised by how much I've used it and how much it's kind of showing use considering the product type. And this is the Freedom Eyebrow Pomade in the shade Taupe. And before, there was definitely a tiny bit of pan that you could see through the product. It was definitely well loved before going into this project, but the actual pan size is like quadruple the amount, I would say. Like, it's definitely a much bigger dent in this, and considering the type of product it is, you know, you don't need a lot, you only need like the tiniest amount. So I remember when I first got it, I thought that this would last forever, but I am getting through it, which I'm actually so impressed. I think if the bottom of the actual container was clear, not dark with product, then, you know, you'd probably be able to see that more, but I'll obviously definitely show you closer up. So I'm really excited to see the difference between when I first started it and then after the year of trying to pan these products, because I feel like this is actually going to show quite a lot, which is really exciting, but I actually can't believe how much it's showing. Like, I just did not expect it at all. Another exciting development in the Project Pan series was that I had two of these Makeup Revolution Conceal and Define Concealers, and I've actually finished a whole one off. I started off with two in the project because I knew that it wouldn't last me the entire year, so I put two in being pretty confident that I would use them up, and because of how much I loved the product, I knew that it was something that I would use all the time and fall in love with. So I actually have used the whole one up. I think this is the one that's still got plenty of product in it because this is more new, yeah, but The other one, I'm going to take out the stopper and get any last product actually left in it, but you don't get a ton of product in these. You only get, I think it's like 3.4 millilitres, so definitely not a lot. Like some concealers come with like 10 millilitres and things. Maybe that's a lot, I'm not too sure, but you definitely normally get more in a concealer pot, so I knew that this probably wouldn't last very long, but I didn't expect to finish a whole one off within a month of project panning, which is great for me because I'm trying to use up as many products in my collection as possible. And once I finish this one, I'll definitely replace it with another concealer. Now this is another product that I have so much progress to show you. Again, maybe a little bit more than I anticipated. And this is the Gerard Cosmetics Slay All Day Setting Spray. I mentioned in my other video, I kind of just want to use this up because I don't like the smell and it just really puts me off. Like, it as a setting spray is good, but the smell just puts me off. And I marked where I was on my first, like when I first started this project, and it's gone down all this much, which is insane. I have found that I have been using this not only to set my face after makeup application, but sometimes I will spray a bit on my makeup sponge to really make foundation last longer, which I found is a trick that works really well, which is great if I don't want to actually spray this directly to my face because it reeks. Like, this is a watermelon smell and it does not smell like watermelon. But by actually spraying it on my sponge, I feel like that really absorbs the moisture in, and when I then just dab that over my foundation, I feel like that really helps to like set it into the skin and melt it in a little bit more. So it's a good little hack to help use this up, and I'm sure that I'll probably use this by the next update, and if not, maybe the next one. But I can't believe how much I've actually used. It's quite easy to use up as well. So yeah, I think once I finish this off, I'll move on to my next one. Now this is a product that I feel like you can see a little bit of difference, but not a huge amount. And this is the Mary Luminizer highlighter from The Balm. When I first started this project, it did have a tiny bit of pan in it. I feel like the pan size has grown ever so slightly, but not hugely. It's just stunning. Like, this was a product that was so hyped up like so many years ago, and it's still so pretty. So I love the fact that I'm actually getting my use out of it. This is a product that I've probably neglected for far too long, so it's really good to focus again on it and realise why I loved it in the first place. And hopefully by the next update I'll have more to show you in terms of pan size. But I'm kind of trying to use this whole highlighter up in 2018, which may seem quite daunting now, but I feel like little by little you'll see the pan grow and grow, and then it will either probably like break off because it's getting so thin, or I'll actually be able to finish the whole thing, which is really exciting. So I'm excited to see how much more progress I make with this one. For this Rimmel Duo contour stick, I've definitely used more of the contour side, and I feel like I can see a difference, but I can't really remember how much it was at because I didn't really mark it against like a piece of paper or anything like that. So I will try and add a screenshot of what it was like on the screen if I can find one. But I feel like I have been using this as much as I can. I do like using this more as a base. If I put foundation on, I'll use this as a mini cream contour, and then I'll use contour powder on top, and it really gives such a gorgeous defined look. I have been really enjoying this. I've mentioned this before, but I do love this product for really helping to get like an effortless blend, and for the fact that this is from the drugstore is amazing. It's so affordable and such a high quality product. So I've definitely been using this. I will probably be able to use it up either by the next update or the update after that, but I really enjoy using this side. You probably won't see much difference on the highlighter side, but I found a way to make this work for me, which is actually half of the battle. I didn't really use this very much. It would be probably quite similar to the Mary Luminizer. So I'll just put that there. It's the one in the middle, if you can even see that, I don't even know. But I found that the way that I love using this the most is when I go to carve out my eyebrows, like at the bottom of my eyebrows, I actually use this. I just think that that adds a gorgeous highlight without being too much. Like, I find that maybe putting powder underneath my eyebrows makes it look a little bit cakey. I've just found that that's a really good combination for me. So I've just been using that as often as I can. Sometimes I will use this as a bit of a highlight base, but again, I feel like with my oily skin, by using something that's too illuminating as a base, just breaks me out and it encourages too much oil production. So I keep it as a minimum in terms of highlighting, but I have found that it works nice under my eyebrows. So it's going to probably take me a little while to finish this. I expect that I'll finish the contour shade before I finish the highlight one, but I am making it my mission to finish it up. It will be so satisfying as soon as I finish up the highlight side. So next up, I'm going to talk about the MAC Oil Control Lotion, and I have tried to kind of like open it up to see if I can see how much the product I've used, and whilst I can kind of tell, it's really difficult to compare it to my last update. It is opaque packaging, so I can't actually tell the line. Even when I hold it up to light, it's very difficult to actually determine. I think it's kind of probably about there, but it's really hard to tell. Like, I wouldn't like to say because I feel like I would be wrong. I haven't been using this as much as I maybe should because I have the other primer in my collection, so I'm kind of going between the two, and I feel like this will be so much better in the summer, so I am trying to save it. I know I'll get through it because I've got through a whole oil control lotion before quite quickly, so I'm not worried about kind of holding out using this, but I know this will be my saving grace in the summer, so I can't wait to actually use this and finish it off. I feel like as soon as I get in the habit of using it daily, it won't last very long at all, unfortunately. So yeah, not much to show you yet, but hopefully I will do really soon. There were a couple of other MAC products in my project pan, so I'll just show you those and the progress I've made on those. This is the MAC Studio Finish Concealer. This is the one that I use mainly as more of a colour corrector as opposed to a concealer because it is slightly more pink in tone, and I find that it is just slightly darker than my skin tone, so it works really nicely as a bit of a base before I put foundation on to cancel out my dark circles, but it's not enough for me to use as just a concealer. So I feel like I can see a dent in the product, but only a slight dent. I haven't been using this daily because I feel like sometimes if I use too much under my eyes, it can look very cakey. And we've had, despite having snow not that long ago, we've also had some really lovely days too. So I've kind of changed my makeup look all the time. So sometimes I've not even reached for it, but when I have, I do really enjoy using it. I like using this with a sponge and then applying that to try and thin it out as much as possible. And I feel like I'm close to hitting pan. I don't feel like you get an awful lot of product, like you don't get that much of product. So I feel like I'm probably not that far away from actually hitting pan. And then I feel like as soon as I've like actually hit pan, it will just probably go really, really quickly. So that's kind of the lack of progress I've made so far, but I'm excited to keep using this, and I feel like because I actually feel like I'm not that far away, then as soon as I hit pan, like that'll be my motivation to finish it. So I hope to have pan in my next update, but it's really difficult to tell because I don't know how much product I do have left without like putting my finger in it or anything like that, and I don't want to do that. So yeah, hopefully we'll have some news soon. The next product is so shameful, like you cannot tell any progress on this. This is the MAC blush, and in my last video, so many of you kind of said to me, MAC blushes are impossible to use up, like you'll probably not even hit pan, and I'm beginning to realise like I have used this as much as I possibly can, like almost daily, and it looks like I've not used it at all, which is great value for money if you're looking to get a MAC blush and you're looking for it to last so long. But I'm one of those people that have about 30 blushes in my collection and never really wore blush before, so this is kind of making me wear blush, and my god, like this colour is gorgeous. Like I love wearing it. I feel like it's such a gorgeous like natural glow. But that said, I just am not seeing any progress on this, so I'm hoping that like eventually I'll see something, but so many people have said that MAC blushes are impossible, and I don't really expect to actually hit pan on this, which is such a shame. But I feel like still trying to see how much progress I can make will give me a realistic aim of maybe next year when I do put another blush in. But I do just want to see how much I use, so yeah. Fingers crossed, like there's like a miracle way of using it up, but it doesn't seem like it because it's so pigmented. I use like the tiniest amount, so yeah, not a lot to show you on this one, unfortunately. Now the other MAC product is a product that I'm wearing on my face today. Well, I'm actually wearing like all of these products on my face today because I've been at work, but this is the lipstick that I'm wearing, and this is Velvet Teddy. Gorgeous, gorgeous colour, and I don't feel like it looks like I've made much progress on this one because I can't really tell, like if I'm honest with you. So this is how much of it is left at the moment. It's really difficult to just wear one lipstick daily, so I haven't been like totally committed to this one. I have mixed it up you know, to kind of match my outfits and stuff, but this is such a good neutral lip. I do try to wear it as often as possible, but I just can't commit to wearing it every day. So I don't feel like I've made as much progress as I feel like I should have, but hopefully I will do in my next update. If I just really push myself to maybe wear it every day for like a month, then hopefully it will like build down a little bit. I've never finished a MAC lipstick before, so I'm really excited to actually finish it off. Next up, I have my two Benefit Gimme Brows, and I've got like a mini one and then I've got a full size one. I added them both in similar to how I added in like the two Makeup Revolution concealers, because I felt like there wasn't a lot of product left in this one, and then I'd be able to move on to this one. And this is a product that I love using, like I literally use this like daily. I feel like the mini one, which is what I'm using at the moment, is beginning to die down. Like you can tell there's not a lot of product that is coming out of that one, so I'm kind of hopeful that that's a sign that it's actually going. I quite like the fact that not a lot of product comes out, because it lacks a little bit of pigment, which is better for me because I have quite light brows anyway, so that kind of works really nicely. But I feel like the end is really, really close to that one. Not quite, but by my next update this one will definitely be used up. And as for the full size one, I've obviously not even touched this yet, which it's annoying that I added them both in, but you know, this is a product that I would have then moved on to anyway. This has so much more product in it. Yeah, you can definitely tell there that the other one was a lot older and this one's a lot newer, much more pigmented, and yeah, there's a definite difference between those. So the smaller one is almost out and this one is brand new, but I will move on to this. And I guess if I've used this one, I mean, I've had it for a little while, so if this one lasted a couple of months, maybe this one will too, and then I'll be able to use something else towards the end of the year. This foundation is one that I have not really touched, and I'm just going to be honest, it's just not something I've wanted to wear, and this is the Tarte Amazonian Clay Foundation. I wanted to put this in because I just wanted to use it up, but I feel like with a foundation, it's so hard to wear something that you don't love because you have to wear it all day. I feel like if I'm only going out for a couple of hours, then I'll probably go to this, but because I'm often working like long hours in a day, I go for the other foundation in my project pan. So I'm hoping that maybe if I have a bit more of a tan, I can mix this with the other foundation and just use it up. Like, there's not a lot of product in it. I feel like we're about there probably, so there's not a lot in that. But it's just, I just don't like it. Like, I feel like it makes my skin look so cakey. It's so dark for me at the moment, which I'd never really realised when I ordered it. So it's a good kind of mixing one if I have fake tan on, which I don't at the moment. I don't know, I just feel like that is just quite dark for me at the moment. It probably looks alright, but it's just so thick, it's so cakey, and I just don't feel like it works well with my oily skin, despite the fact that this was marketed for oily skinned people. So maybe I'll just like grin and bear it and just try and use it up as much as I possibly can, but knowing I don't love it, it just doesn't inspire me to use it. So maybe I just need to actually just suck it up and use it up and get it done, and once it's done, then I will never repurchase this foundation again. I literally hate it, but I just feel like I need to use it just to get it out of my collection because I don't want to waste it. It was an expensive foundation, but it does oxidise as well. I'm just not a fan. Not a fan. Next up is another powder product, which I feel like I'm probably not going to like end up actually using. This is the Benefit Hoola, the original Hoola. I also have Hoola Light, which I absolutely adore, but it meant that I neglected this one, which is why I decided to put this one in my project. And I've been using this like daily to like contour and bronze. I'm wearing it today at the moment. I feel like it gives a gorgeous natural finish, but you know, you only need the smallest amount. It's so pigmented, so kind of densely packed that you only need to use like a tiny little bit and you get like a gorgeous finish. It blends out effortlessly, so you don't need to build it up very much. So I don't feel like there's a ton of product that I've used over the past month, but there is definitely a dent in the product. So I'm hoping that like one day I'll just use it and I'll see like a tiny bit of pan and it's like the end is in sight. But for now, I just feel like it's just not gonna go anywhere. I'm not too sure if you can actually see that, but there is a really, really small dent in the middle. Like, I'm not just like fascinated by it, like it's genuinely there. I'm determined to make a dent in this product because otherwise, like, what am I going to do with, again, like the 30 bronzers that I have? It's ridiculous. This is the Max Factor Face Finity All Day Primer, gorgeous primer. Like this has been like my primer of choice, like over the oil control one for the moment. This and the Max Factor All Day Flawless Foundation, like obviously are made to work together, and I feel like they do so well. I am so oily, so to actually have something that sits so beautifully on my skin, prevents my oils from coming through, is like a match made in heaven. And I've really been enjoying this. This is the thing, by using a foundation I don't like, I'm just like, I feel horrible and I don't have much confidence, but when I've got a foundation that I love, it makes all the difference. So I've used about this much of the product. It was brand new when I first got it, so I have used probably like a quarter of the product, which is really good. So that means it will probably last me another 3 months, which, yeah, I'm kind of excited. I'll try and like mark off where I am on these bottles so then I can actually show you like with the setting spray. But yeah, really been enjoying this. Definite progress to be seen, and yeah, I just love it. Like I would definitely recommend it if you're oily and looking for a really good primer. And next up is this foundation, and so it is kind of dirty, but it does actually go down to about above the F where it says Facefinity. So probably slightly less of this I've used. I've used probably about a fifth as opposed to like a quarter of the primer. But the primer is just so good to like lather your face in, whereas with this I don't need too much. It's a really good coverage too. So I probably only use about that fifth, but again, gorgeous. Really been enjoying this. Such a good match for my skin at the moment too, which I didn't expect because it's kind of a little bit more cooler undertone. But really been enjoying this. So that's my first update. I hope you guys have really enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoy seeing these updates, and let me know how your project pan is going so far too. It's so good, and it's like such a great community as well. Like I didn't realise how many people are doing project pan and how like supportive everyone is. It's like literally so fantastic. So thank you to everyone that has taken the time to comment in my last video, like it and things, and anyone that does on this one too. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this, and if you do enjoy project pan updates, don't forget to subscribe because I'm going to try and do them as often as I feel like I've got progress to show you. I'm not necessarily going to do them once a month because I might just not have anything to show you, but I just couldn't believe after a month of like project panning how much progress I had to show you. So I was so excited to sit in front of the camera and just show you the dents in the products that I had made to hopefully inspire anyone that is thinking of doing it but not too sure if it like you'll actually reach it, because I thought it'd take so much longer to actually see any progress. So it's so like inspiring for me, so I hope that it is inspiring for you if you're thinking of starting it too. And yeah, I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye guys.